Guys, one mechanic that's absolutely necessary is that Shinx simply cannot have the spotlight anymore. You guys can't troll us and tell us that Arceus is the focus and then make it all about Shinx again. You guys can't do that anymore. Shinx is a god. We're all more than aware. But we can give it to a different one this time.
Everybody like, hey, are you ready to go? Ready to go. Everybody like, hey.
Well, alright, what is up y'all? Soul here and welcome back to my story mode. So obviously, since the last video was about the remakes, it was pretty much inevitable that this one was bound to be talking about Legends Arceus once again. Obviously, I do not have any type of schedule lined up for the next better part of a year because we have quite some time before these games come out, and there's only so much dreaming, speculations, and breakdowns that I could do without any type of news or trailers. So forgive me, I know I'm a little slow, but I am doing my best to at least keep it up to 1 to 2 uploads a week. So just know that your boy has always got something cooking up even if I go dark for a little while. And speaking of things cooking, streams are looking mighty close these days. Getting a little tidbit of artwork done, so that means I'll be able to organize the streams, layouts, and things like that the way that I want so that everything looks mighty pretty by the time that you guys tune in. Again, no guarantee on when exactly that day will be, however, I'll be announcing it over here as well as on Twitter, just so everybody has a chance to catch any test streams or anything like that, and then we can really get into business. Which kind of brings me into my next thing here. Much like how I asked for the remakes, how are we going about this series? Are we doing a straight up live stream playthrough? Do y'all want to see a daily episode to episode kind of situation? Y'all already know I'm more than game for either. We're either going to be gunning through this game in a series of daily live streams, or we could potentially have a day-to-day 1 to 2 uploads a day type series going on where I play through the game and you guys just enjoy it in your free time whenever you get the chance. Either way, live stream or other, everything's gonna be on the channel regardless of what happens. It's gonna be there for everybody to see for as long as anybody wants to see it. It's gonna be around, so nobody has to fret. Whatever decision you go with, I'm down for it and everybody's gonna get a chance to watch. However, though, I'm sure a lot of you are going to be playing around the same time and probably play way ahead of me, so try to avoid spoiling me if you can, and if you want to help me during live streams or if you want to just comment down and give me general ideas of what to do next if I get lost, don't hesitate, just don't spoil. That's all I ask. It appears that I've talked a little too much about the future. We're nowhere near there yet, and we don't even know exactly how we're going about that yet, so we'll hold off on that for now. It's a tidbit ironic though, considering that we're going to be talking about possible mechanics that may or may not be there by the time this game actually rolls around in early 2022. So just keep in mind that while I was writing the script, I did get a little too excited, so some of these expectations are more like dreams than anything. But they are still very possible for them to do. All of these ideas are more than within the realm of what Pokemon can do with this series, and I would love to see if they implement any of these ideas down the line. Do I expect all of them? No, but maybe 1 or 2. We'll see how it plays out. So with that, why don't we go ahead and start talking about mechanics that I want to see implemented in Pokemon Legends Arceus. Because this one is so simple, let's just go ahead and start talking about the day and night and possible seasons mechanic. And while we're at it, why don't we go ahead and just throw in weather too? Now, we already know for a fact that day and night is most definitely a thing, considering that we saw the trainer roaming around a tree walking away from it at night. However, though, I think that it's worth talking about because this time around, I truly do hope that they capitalize on the day and night cycle and really make that mechanic something more important. Now, this isn't something that we're unfamiliar with. We've definitely had day and night cycle situations where things that would happen during the day wouldn't necessarily happen at night and vice versa. But if you could sit there and tell me that we've had more than 2 or 3 situations where the day and night cycle has actually been very crucial to the game itself, I would sit there and tell me that you're lying to me. Simply put, there are ways to utilize this mechanic without making it so that it's literally nothing more than an inconvenience. If you take a look back at the original Sinnoh Pokédex, you can tell that there's definitely some Pokemon that would make a lot more sense to find at night than during the day. Absol, the Duskull line, Houndour, the hell bro, Sneasel. It's as simple as this. If you're gonna have a time mechanic, make it so that time actually affects the game sometimes. Make it so that if we decide to go out to the wild area at night, there's probably more dangerous Pokemon lurking around, so we have to be twice as careful. Especially during the early stages of the game, I promise you that you are not gonna have a full team of Sticks that's ready to fight a full-fledged Gengar, bro. Step down. Hell, make it so that there are Pokemon that may have a better time seeing in the dark than others. Maybe we need to utilize those Pokemon to fight at night. We can shotgun this back and forth for days, but my main point is, don't make nighttime dark or daytime. There's no point in that. I also feel the exact same way about weather. If you can make it an obstacle, that's totally fine. Just don't simply make it an inconvenience. Considering that we're staying in Sinnoh, I fully expect it to snow plenty. We've seen the outfits that our trainers are wearing. We're gonna need a little bit more warmth than that. If y'all got an operational warmth meter, kinda like how we have in Breath of the Wild, then maybe we have to just catch a Chimchar and keep that on our team to keep us warm when necessary. It's really that simple. Now, I'm not sure how common lightning storms are in Sinnoh, but hey, maybe if you're out on the battlefield like that and you're in battle, there's a good chance that you or your opponent could catch some hands from Zeus himself. Or if you really want to stick to just Pokemon, then I guess Zapdos or Thundurus, but I don't think that would make too much sense for Sinnoh. Big picture is, if you plan to add them, then give them a purpose when you add them. That is simply all I'm asking. Seasons, on the other hand, though, I think that's more or less just an aesthetic thing. I would just love to see different blooming trees in different seasons. I think that would just be simply pretty. That one you don't have to go crazy with. Just make things look prettier in different seasons, if you add seasons. Because we haven't had real seasons since 5th gen, guys. Come on, please. But regardless, that pretty much does it for the overall just day-night seasons and weather's mechanics. Let's go ahead and start talking about the battle mechanics. So obviously, for the most part, we still have our pick your move, attack your opponent style that we've always had for Pokemon, and that's totally fine. However, I did state in my previous video regarding this game that there were some rumors going around about a more active battle system. And for those who don't understand, all I mean is instead of going turn-based, we would have timers on our Pokemon that we would have to wait to run out before making our next attack. I cannot truly explain this with justice. If you want to know what I'm talking about, just play Pokemon Masters for all of 5 minutes. Now, I did say this in my last video, but I am 100% on board with a more active battle system. This is something that's always made opponents feel truly alive, is when they're making their own moves, not waiting for you. It's perfect for wild battles like we're going to be experiencing in this game. Those Pokemon are not going to wait for you to take your turn or throw a Pokeball. They are going to attack you when they are ready to attack you. They are not waiting for you to gear up, bro. You ever tried to fight a freaking lion before? Yeah, me neither, because I know they're not waiting on my ass. They're going to catch me and they're going to kill me. Wild Pokemon, being based on animals, should be doing just that. Attacking you when they feel like attacking you because you are in their territory. And hell, even for trainer battles, because I'm sure that those are inevitable too. Now think about if Pokemon were real for a second. If we were battling each other, are you really gonna wait for me to sit there and make my move first? Sure, you could, but are you really gonna sit there, attack me, miss, and then wait for me to make my move again? No. We are gonna be throwing out commands left and right to our Pokemon to attack and dodge until they get the hit that they need in. So when you really look at it, nothing would make more sense than an active battle system, because since we're in the wild now, it's every man for himself. Also, quick side note, I would totally be okay if we had boss battles that were in the style of raid battles against legendaries like Dialga, Palkia, and Arceus, or whoever. It makes sense. And if we had an active battle system to complement that, oh man, those battles would be terrifying, bro. Imagine fighting Giratina and he's attacking you whenever he feels like it. Yeah, I can hear your boots shaking over there. It's alright. It's not canon yet, but it could be. That just about covers everything that I hope to expect from the battle mechanics, so why don't we go ahead and move on to the catching mechanics. Right now, as far as we know, we can't catch them like we usually do. We know that we can catch them in the overworld, but not in battle like we're used to. So we're unsure if we even have to battle the Pokemon, or if we just need to throw the Pokeball at it and pray to God that it doesn't notice us if it breaks out. So for now, let's just assume that we can only catch them in the overworld for now, right? Okay, cool, that's totally fine. But we do need to find a way to spice it up just a little bit, because that throw was just that, a throw. We've all played Pokemon Go by this point. Why don't we actually implement that kind of mechanic to make our captures more stylish and possibly more effective? Throw some crazy backspin on there. Maybe we can curve it like a madman. I'm sure during this point in time, they're in the midst of creating some crazy Pokeballs. Why don't we get one that's a little bouncy, Maybe we could bounce it at them. The more bounces, the higher your chance of catching the Pokemon. Does that make a little bit of sense? Or maybe we could just bank it off a couple of trees or something before it gets to the Pokemon. I truly don't know, to be honest. What I do know is that if we're going to be catching Pokemon for the majority of the game, we cannot have it looking like how it looked in the trailer the entire time, because that is going to get real old looking real fast. Or hey, maybe we don't even want to leave it all to the trainer. Maybe we could utilize the abilities of Pokemon to do it. We're getting Decidueye as a starter. Let that man launch a Pokeball from his arrow. Hell, we have Typhlosion too. Maybe we could let that man launch the ball off his back like a rocket. Although now that I think about it, Pokemon catching other Pokemon would be kinda awkward. Point is, I think we could have something a little bit more flashy, for God's sakes. Capturing Pokemon is not something that should ever look stale, so we simply need a more engaging capture mechanic that's fitting, but also enticing. Alright, that's enough about throwing balls. Why don't we talk about the overworld mechanics? Personally, I would like to see Pokemon actually properly interacting with the world around them. After looking at trailers of Pokemon Snap and playing an abundance of Xenoblade Chronicles 2, I don't think that's something that's very impossible. My man Pokemark was saying in his other video that he would love to see these Pokemon traveling in a pack, and if you approach them and scare them, they might spread out. And you know what? That's something that's realistic. I didn't even consider that at first. No Pokemon should be just sitting there staring off into nothingness. Are they high? I don't think that would be very appropriate, Game Freak, so unless they're high off their asses, they should be doing things. I want to see some Pokemon picking food out of trees. I want to see them drinking water from lakes. Maybe the bird-like Pokemon like Starlies are sitting on walls talking to each other. They're chirping right next to each other. Is that really too much to ask? They also need to generally react to things, and I'm not just talking about chasing you. If your friend got hit in the head with a rock while standing right next to you, are you really not gonna look around and try to see where it came from? You're not gonna think anything of it? Yes, you are, because living things react to things that happen. That should apply to Pokemon as well. Even if Shinx is a god, he would have turned around and said, "Whoa, what was that flash of light that just enveloped my other fellow god? What was that? That was weird. I should probably run or attack or something." I probably sound like a freaking insane person right now, but long story short, don't make them all boring and stagnant like they were in Sword and Shield. You have the opportunity, give them a little bit of life and personality. I don't think that would be too crazy to ask. Speaking of life and personality, that shouldn't apply to just Pokemon. We're probably going to be meeting plenty of NPCs on our journey in each town that we visit. Maybe in between towns as well. We shouldn't be the only ones out on the wild area. We need NPCs with their own livelihoods as well. Now don't sit there and get me wrong. I'm not talking about Cyberpunk 2077 level of promised livelihood. I'm just talking real simple things. NPCs should be moving things, building things. Maybe they're in their houses drawing or cooking or petting their Pokemon. Some people like to tend to gardens. I'd love to see a little old granny NPC starting up her garden. Maybe by the end of the game, she has a full-on garden. Maybe you helped her with it, or maybe she just did it on her own. Maybe you just paid enough attention. Hell, it doesn't even need to be that crazy complex. Maybe some are out during the day, maybe some are out during the night. Point is, you got a world going on, and to make it feel alive, you gotta bring the characters to life a little bit too, even if they are background characters. Now, not even talking about people or Pokemon, the trainer that we play as should also be able to interact with things too, no? For example, what if the trainer could pick up a stick and throw it to distract a Pokemon, or possibly hit them with it? Don't even add that one, don't be an ass. You could lure the Pokemon's attention away from you so you either have a chance to escape, or if you want to capture it, they're facing away from you. They're paying attention to something else, and maybe you could get a good capture in. And you know what? Let's get a little crazy. Maybe if we sneak up close enough to the Pokemon and they're not too scared, we can pet them, and maybe they'll become more friendly towards you. Somebody took that one picture of that trainer kneeling next to Bidoof and put push A to pet the Bidoof. Now that is something that would satisfy me greatly. Again, that's something that can also play into capture mechanics. Maybe if they're more willing to come with you, you can have an easier time catching them. But talking about just general overworld stuff, we should be able to interact with things like trees and water too. We should be able to nab berries that are hanging from trees. We shouldn't have to wait for them to fall. We should be able to bottle up water from lakes. Now this is just a hunch, but I don't think that bottled waters are a thing in that era. Whatever the case may be, if we can get our hands on that kind of thing, maybe we could be able to cook for ourselves or maybe our team. Or maybe we could get some berries or water to feed wild Pokemon so they could become more friendly towards us. God, the more I say that, the more I feel like I'm reaching for the stars here. I just want to pet Shinx. All I'm saying is there are much better ways to interact with the world and do some collecting rather than waiting for everything to fall on the floor right in front of us. Now, my last thing might be a tidbit of a stretch, but would climbing things be too out there? Climbing up rocks and whatnot? Would it be too absolutely insane to climb on rocks and get above wild Pokemon so they don't see you? Have the high ground, if you will? Anyway, that one's a little out there. That's just something that I considered. But that kind of does it for my overworld mechanics. Let's get into side quest mechanics. Now, I'm personally good with just some basic quests, because Pokemon has, for whatever reason, actively avoided doing true side quests for a very long time. We kinda got it in 6th gen, but not really. Now, when I say basic side quests, I'm talking get a quest from an NPC, go do it, come back, and get a reward. NPC A wants you to go out and catch a Bidoof for him to keep. Go out, get it to him, get a reward. You could get some berries, maybe some experience for your team, or something like that. NPC B wants you to beat down some pesky Bidoof that's been bugging her garden. Go out, kick the snot out of some Bidoof, and maybe she'll reward you with some berries or maybe some nice home cooking. Hey! NPC C needs you to collect a specific type of wood so they could get to building. Go out, let the RNG gods do their job, and come back and get something nice. That's what I'm talking about. Look at how easy those side quests were. And they have a lot of different items in the world of Pokemon that could serve as beautiful rewards. Now, while I'd be more than fine with simple side quests like that, I would definitely love some more complex things too. I'm more than fine with receiving tasks that are not meant to be finished immediately. For example, NPC D needs fingerprints on this scroll from certain people to go ahead and start building certain things. Okay, cool, but the people that he needs these fingerprints from reside in different villages, so you have to go around on your journey and remember to search for those certain people. When you're done, you come back to the original person that gave you the quest to begin with, and maybe they'll start building a new facility for you to use. Is it not that simple? Is it not that simple? I think it's literally that simple. One of my final things kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier. I was saying that I want NPCs in Pokemon that operate at different times of the day, and this is something that I definitely think should apply to side quests as well. For example, if I obtain the quest, I want to have to follow somebody suspicious during the nighttime. I would have to hide behind trees and in grass and things like that before eventually cornering their sus ass into a confession. It's so damn easy, bro. It's that easy. Anyway, moving on from that, let's start talking now about Pokemon Overworld abilities. Now again, I've been playing an abundance of Xenoblade Chronicles 2, however, if we want to hit a little closer to home, I want something that operates on a very similar level to that of Pokemon Ranger. Oh, it seems you can't get to this area because you don't have a Pokemon at a certain level with a certain ability. Well, hey, I'm sure that if you come back further along in your journey, you'll have a Pokemon powerful enough to get this big ass branch out of the way. Obviously, a simple flame attack from a Chimchar would do no more than get rid of a couple of shrubs. It's not gonna get rid of a fallen tree. That looks like more of a job for somebody like Typhlosion. Hey, it looks like there's a cave over there, but you can't swim. Meaning that we either need a Pokemon that can swim and that can hold us on their back, or we need a Pokemon to freeze the lake. Well, I do have this little Snorunt on me, but I don't think he's really doing all that much damage in the ice department. But maybe eventually I'll be able to catch that Obama Snow that I saw back there and turn this place into a frickin' ice rink. I warned you guys that I was dreaming. I got so passionate about that. That is something that I very much want because that is how you make the world feel alive and make it feel realistic. Pokemon that can burn things should be able to burn things. Pokemon that freeze things should be able to freeze things. It's just that simple. And you know what? Why even stop there? I think that their abilities should be able to help us cause status effects on Pokemon that we want to capture. Obviously, trying to paralyze a wild Lucario probably wouldn't go over well. However, if we were to sneak close enough and we had a Pokemon with something like Sleep Powder, I think that should be fair. We have always been told from day one of all of our Pokemon adventures that the best way to capture Pokemon is to weaken it and then put a status effect on it. You will never get a better chance than that. Mindlessly throwing Pokeballs? that shouldn't really get us anywhere. But you know, that's just my take on it. Next up, let's talk about trainer growth, stats, and upgrades. Just like Pokemon, we as trainers should be more than capable of learning and growing. Imagine it like this. The trainer has set stats from the get-go so that when we start getting into things and understand the game, we literally level up our own stats. As a trainer exploring in the wild, we would definitely want to upgrade our stealth so that it's easier to sneak up on even the most aware Pokemon. I'm sure that a lot of us would also like to upgrade our speed so that if we run into any very scary Pokemon out in the wild, we could at least attempt to get away. And I'm also fairly certain that most of us would like to get along good with our own Pokemon as well as wild Pokemon too, so maybe we have a friendliness stat that we can upgrade. As far as we're aware, we do not have a Pokemon League in this area yet, meaning that we don't have any gyms or gym badges to flash around to show how powerful we are to own Pokemon that might be super high leveled. So we're gonna need a nice way to regulate how we're gonna go about messing with these super strong Pokemon. And I honestly think that friendliness levels should definitely be a thing. One that shouldn't be crazy easy to level up, but something very doable. Personally, I'm more than good with having a level up bar for the trainers themselves. That is by far the most simple and also one of the most effective ways to earn points that we can put into whatever stats we choose. The more we explore, the more we assist people, the more we battle, the more we simply just play the game, the higher that level goes. Maybe at certain levels we can catch certain Pokemon. And hell, while we're at it, we should add a stat that allows us to upgrade our Pokemon catching skills. Maybe that's a way that we can start to earn our stylish throwing techniques. But you get what I'm saying here, right? We grow, our Pokemon grow, we get stronger Pokemon that we can grow. Reduce, reuse, recite. I don't think that's right. Anyway, if things are restricted to certain levels, we're gonna want to reach those levels because if we can't access it, that makes us want to access it all that much more. You want this? Get to the level, and guess what? We are probably gonna get to that level. So now I think you guys get the general gist of it. That just about does it for what I want with trainer growth and stats. The final thing that I want to talk about is the potential for town upgrades. As stated in the trailer, these people are coming to a brand new barren region. So as people do, they want to explore it, learn about it, and try to make it some kinda home. Obviously, we're gonna need things like shops and Pokemon centers, but we're not even sure if that's even a thing in this era. So, maybe if we assist with actually building it by bringing the necessary materials, we'll have better facility access. And this is something that could definitely apply to every town that we come across. It's as simple as, we scratch their backs, they scratch ours. For example, we'll definitely have some kind of access to some sort of lodging so that we can heal ourselves as well as our Pokemon. However though, that might cost some kind of currency for all we know. NPC comes up and tells you, hey man, listen here, I'm trying to build something called a little Pokemon Center. You can heal up your Pokemon here for free if you help me build it. They probably wouldn't be that sneaky about it because they don't need to, but you get the gist of what I'm saying. As bad as my luck is with RNG, it can make things interesting sometimes, and it would make it so exciting to finally find that last material and go back to town so they could get to building the Pokemon Center so that you can finally heal yourself and your Pokemon for free of charge. I'd also like to help build a facility to allow us to sell things because I am not sure exactly how currency is going to work with them. Now, while there is a tidbit of potential here, we do have to remember that we do know what the outcome of Sinnoh looks like right now, so these facilities have to be at least a little realistic. But helping build shops and Pokemon centers? I think that'd be pretty fair, no? So anyway, that just about does it for most of the mechanics that I would definitely love to see going into this next game. I did have one other small thing that I thought about but didn't really know how to go about. I kinda wanted to see a mini game where we actually build the underground ourselves. Maybe that's how we find some fossil Pokemon or something like that. The underground is a big part of 4th gen, so I can't imagine that they would sit there and ignore that. But honestly, I think that I'ma leave that one be for now. Maybe we'll touch up on it in a future video, maybe a part 2 of this, who knows. But that actually does wrap up all of my thoughts on mechanics that I'd love to see going into Pokemon Legends. Now again, as I stated at the beginning of this video, I do not expect almost any of these mechanics to come through. Maybe some here and there, maybe like a little tiny microscopic version of what I said, but not really. I do want to make a predictions video down the line on what to expect going into this game, but quite honestly, I think we need to wait for a few more trailers. We just simply do not have enough information yet. And this is not me trying to get anybody else's hopes up or anything like that, but my own. But at the same time, I am very grounded, I am very realistic, and I know what to expect from Pokemon. These are just things that I would love to see happen. If they do happen, cool. If they don't happen, cool. I'm getting the game either way, and I'm gonna play through it. Also, my last thing is that a lot of this probably sounded very similar to Breath of the Wild. Let's be real, they literally did the Breath of the Wild shot, so I kind of assumed they did that on purpose. So, you know, if you guys are doing like Breath of the Pokemon or whatever you want to call this, then do Breath of the Pokemon. Go all the way with it. Use all of your capabilities to make this the closest thing to Breath of the Wild Pokemon version as you can. Because you know what? We've all been asking for something like that for a very long time. So now this truly does do it for this video. The next video is probably going to be something relating to the remakes. However, I do have some other videos lined up that have nothing to do with either, but it's Pokemon as a whole. You know what I mean? I have other videos lined up that aren't these. So look forward to all of it. I'm having a lot of fun doing these. I had so much fun writing the script for this. Just dreaming like a kid again is so nice. You know what I mean? I would love to see some of these mechanics implemented, as I've stated like 6 times already, but if they don't happen, I'm still probably going to be a very happy camper that we finally got something new. Legends is so innovative looking, and I would love to see the direction that they take with this possible new series. So I hope you guys are excited as I am. But anyway, with that, I'm going to go ahead and skedaddle on out of here. So on that note, I want to thank you guys ever so much for watching. I truly do hope you enjoyed. Do me the absolute greatest favor of dropping a like and a comment, and possibly a subscription if you want to see more content just like this one. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. Thank you again. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. Do me the greatest favor of taking good ass care, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!